the flame on max. I'ma keep it going till there ain't nothing left. Going till there ain't nothing. Keep the flame on, gotta keep the flame on, gotta keep the flame, keep the flame, keep the flame on.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Carolina Pro Football Report on ADSN1.com and 730 The Game. I'm Kevin Tolbert here from Ford Field in Detroit, where the Panthers have just dropped their fifth straight to the Detroit Lions. 42-24, your final score. But the biggest concern of the day was not the big loss that they took to the Lions. It was the loss of guard Chandler Zavala, who went down in the first quarter due to a neck injury. Zavala needed to be transported to a local hospital where he received treatment. Both teams cleared the benches to come onto the field for support. So a lot of genuine support for Zavala as he was carted off today. As I said, he was taken to an area hospital, but he does have movement. They said he was responding, and Frank Reich in the post-game press conference did say that Zavala may make the trip back home on the team plane. So some good news there. We hope that his recovery is a speedy one, but it does not take away the fear of the moment, seeing your teammate in jeopardy.
Scary, because you never know like what's actually going on, and with the type of injuries that's been happening in the past, you can only think the worst. So I just try to cover him with prayer, and I'm just glad to hear that he's okay.
You never want to see that. You want to see that type of reaction, that type of it's scary for sure. It's a business, and you have to go to the next play. And for your brothers, you have to try to put it in the back burner and move on. And Chandler, being the warrior he was egging us to keep pounding. He was egging us to keep fighting. He was encouraging us even in that state, which speaks to him and his character. And we have to, in the moment, you have to do all you can to try to put that aside and keep pushing. But stuff like that is really scary.
Didn't look like he was moving a lot, but a minute or so into it, I saw him move his arm, and so I was hopeful there. And the medical team just did a good job, right? Play it safe, but thankfully everything looks good.
Now, with regard to today's performance, lots of good numbers that came out of this aside from the loss. Adam Thielen, again, had a pretty nice game, 11 catches for 107 yards and a touchdown. So a good day for Adam Thielen. He's becoming the Mr. Reliable target for Bryce Young. And the Panthers' efforts to spread the ball around, also a good point for today. Tommy Tremble had a touchdown. DJ Chark, and as I mentioned before, Adam Thielen also had a touchdown today. So spreading the ball around, this is the first multi-touchdown day for Bryce Young. So that's an improvement that they can look at to see some of the silver lining on some dark clouds right now. But as far as Bryce Young today, 25 of 41 for 247 yards. So not a horrible afternoon for Bryce, but those costly penalties are where things are starting to add up for him. So he still has some work to do, and then throw in the key fumble by Miles Sanders, and you've got the recipe for the Panthers' loss today. As far as that goes, one of the things that affected Bryce today was the communication on the field. He seemed to be flustered at times, a lot more than he has been in the past, but they're still working through that. Frank Reich says he's not ready to ditch Bryce Young at this point. That's not even something that's on his mind, but he talked about the work that they have to do.
Obviously a tough environment to play in. There were still too many plays in which the communication was not at the level it needed to be, so we'll have to go back and continue to work on those things. I thought, we had a good week of practice, working some of those things out. At times today it was very smooth and, very good, but we have to eliminate, you want to have 0 unforced errors. That's always the goal. So, we'll go back and look at how many of these pre-snap penalties we had, how much of an issue that was, and keep working on it to get better.
Carolina's run game is still something that is developing. Less than 100 yards on the ground, no rushing TDs today. So they're still looking for answers in the run game. No big breakout runs such as the ones for the Lions today. So still a lot of work to do there. The Lions were able to control the line of scrimmage in the run game. Aiden Hutchinson was a big factor in that. Now, as I mentioned, the Panthers did do well in certain key categories despite the loss. Still some signs that this experiment is starting to work. So 5 of 10 on third down conversions, so 50% there. 342 yards of total offense, not far off from the 377 total yards of offense that the Lions put up. So they're getting yards, they're getting touchdowns, but the one thing that still seems to befuddle this team is the penalties. They had 7 penalties for 49 yards, and those penalties were at costly and key times, key moments in the game. So they'll have to do a ton of more work to start to deal with that aspect of the game. So that's the next thing, the next notch on the belt for Frank Reich and his staff to try to start to unravel for this team. And this is also where Frank Reich talked about needing his veteran presence, his veteran leadership in the locker room to try to get through these tough moments. There are some members on the team that have been there, that have been through this, such as Frankie Louvu, DJ Chark. So there's a lot of experience in the locker room that knows how to get through these difficult times. Everyone's looking for the good times that will come, but it takes a lot of strength to get through that. Frank Reich talked about that as well.
We have a great group of veteran leaders. And, listen, I don't feel sorry for any of us, right? But I feel bad that we're here. Like, these guys are working hard, making sacrifices, and you want to win for a lot of reasons, but you want to win for these guys, these leaders in the locker room. And I believe that will happen. I don't know when, but I believe that we will keep working towards that. I believe we have the players to do it. I believe we have the coaches to do it. And that's why you fight and scratch and claw every day, because you believe that. And I will never waver in that. I know the guys in that locker room. I know the coaches in that locker room. So you have that belief. And you want it all to come to fruition right now, next week, against the Miami Dolphins, and this year, and we turn things around and have a miraculous turnaround, and that can happen. But if it doesn't happen, and if we're fighting and scratching to get better for future, then that's the benefit. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. I do know this, that I'm going to come to work. This will be my best week of work ever.
Starting off shaky, and it's unfortunate, but we have a lot of talent. We have a lot of good players, and we're only going to get better. It's just unfortunate, because I know the fans and the people that support want it now, and we're not succeeding right now, and so that's tough. But one thing I want to see it through. I've been part of losing teams, and I haven't really been able to see it through. So, I want to see it through, because one thing I've learned in my experience from high school, my high school team wasn't good. I left, they was good. I was at LSU, we wasn't. Left, they won a natty. Jacksonville's doing well, Detroit doing well. So I just want to see it through, because at the end of the day, that's just history. Like, this team, this Carolina Panthers team is going to be good. It's just a matter of when.
Now the Detroit Lions were able to mount an offensive attack today and basically have their way with whatever they wanted, despite not having Ahmad-Ra St. Brown in the lineup today. Jared Goff was 20 of 28 for 236 yards and 3 touchdowns. David Montgomery, 109 yards on 19 carries, including a touchdown. And his longest run was the first touchdown of the game. It was a 42-yard rushing touchdown. So they had it going on in both the pass game and the run game. Josh Reynolds led the Lions receivers with 4 receptions. 76 yards and a touchdown today. And tight end Sam Laporta was the big winner on the Lions offense with 2 touchdown receptions today. So they were able to put in the work and get whatever they wanted out of the offense. The defense pressured Bryce all day. So this was probably one of the toughest outs for the Panthers this season, but Bryce did hold up fairly well. He still remained composed despite all the things going on, including Chandler Zavala going down. And as Frank Reich said in the press conference, I'm paraphrasing, but Rome was not built in a day. So lots of moments to look forward to for the Carolina Panthers. A lot of difficult times going on right now, but rest assured, as Frank Reich said, things will get better. Now, in the pregame, I did promise that we would talk about food more in the postgame. Well, the American Coney Island hot dogs were so delicious, so amazing, that we wanted to let you see that feature again, so that for all the fans that are here in Detroit, you got to make sure that you get over there to American Coney Island and get one of their chili dogs, their chili fries. Anything on that menu is amazing. Here's another look at American Coney Island here in Detroit.
Everybody knows me as comedian Detroit Red, born and raised on the east side of Detroit. Today, I'm going to tell you the real history. The historical, legendary American Coney Island. American Coney Island was started by Gus Keros, who was an immigrant from Greece. And he was on his way here to Detroit, Motor City, to get into the automotive industry. So when he got to Detroit, his dreams of getting into the automotive industry just didn't happen. So he then decided to open up his own little shoe shine and hot dog stand. Eventually got to a point where he could open the original part. The original American Coney Island was just this stretch from here to here. He had what was called a speakeasy, or what we say nowadays, an after hour, located in the basement. He would notice that some of his guests would get up and leave to go find something to eat. So he came up with the Coney Island hot dog. It's an all beef hot dog, chili sauce, mustard, and onion. And just for those that want to know, no, we don't put beans in our chili and put it on your hot dog. Hey, you want it special? Everything on your special, chili, mustard, onions? All right. Anything else for y'all today?
No, I think that's it.
All right, if you give me a second, I'll be right back with this for you. The chili recipe is proprietary to the family. It's the exact same recipe that's been used for the last 107 years. The hot dog recipe is exactly the same as when it started from 107 years ago, and made specially for us by Dearborn Sausage Company. You can't even buy these hot dogs anywhere but here at American Coney Island. On any given day, especially a game day, you can find it packed in here. They also opened up another location in Las Vegas, but this here is the original with much history.
First experience, I'm definitely excited to be here. I'm trying to see which one is going to be which, because I'm going to actually go next door to try next door too, so. I like that. I like that. You got a good, nice little snap to it. The chili is just right, and the mustard is not too much. Everything goes right with each other.
You know, if you look around the wall, it's pictures from all over the years. We got some of the original structure from when the first opened here. But this is the original owner and operator, Gus Keros. And then after him, it passed on to Chuck Keros, which is the son of Gus. And in the last 30, 40 years, Grace Keros, the daughter of Chuck, has owned and operated it and ran it. So like I said, 107 years of family and tradition. As you can see, American Coney Island has its own hot dog eating championship belt. The last contestant ate 24 hot dogs in 10 minutes. The contest itself helped support Detroit firefighters and Detroit police officers. Carol's family has always been very charitable. You've seen some very big names over the years come in, like Al Roker, my man from Barstool. Just the other day we had Robert Kennedy Jr. here enjoying some of our great legendary Coney Island hot dogs. And the family always had the ideal to stick to what you know best. We carry a large, wide menu for beers, because we do serve beer for all those football fans that like to get their beer on while they watch the game or before. So on any given day, you can come here and get a Coney dog, American special. We got the loose burger, which is all ground beef in a hot dog bun. We serve wingdings, tenders, lamb gyros, Greek salads, which you can get with chicken or gyro meat. So the menu is not really extensive, but I guarantee you every item that's on the menu is excellent, good, and prepared with love and originality. So all my Lions fans and my Panther fans, come on down. Get you one of the legendary Coney dogs. Receive some of the great hospitality and service that we had to offer, because that's what we're about. This ain't just about a hot dog, it's an experience.
So a good note to end on, some delicious food here in the Motor City, Detroit. But for the Carolina Pro Football Report on ADSN1.com and 7:30 The Game, I'm Kevin Tolbert from Ford Field in Detroit.